one German author can have brought an American author, and so on, which is also again important information to approach for international publishing. And then when it comes to the specific title, for presenting it, of course you have to make sure that that you have an author's contract, that it includes the respective language rights. Because as I said, for the Ukrainian authors who represent, you do not have the Ukrainian rights, but then sometimes also maybe there has already been a Lithuanian or a Polish deal before we acquired the rights ourselves. So you must make sure that these rights are excluded. You can of course not talk to publishers in that market. And then what is the duration of the contract? So if you have the rights only for 7 or 10 years, and you're in the 3rd or 4th year after the publication, you will already in the 5th or 6th year after the acquisition, then the time span that the foreign publisher will have to translate and publish and exploit the rights will be very short. So here again, as I said, we try to acquire the rights for the duration of copyright as to be able to continuously talk about our authors and to give the foreign partner the possibility to publish and then exploit our knowledge. So something which I did not say at the beginning about Suhrkamp is that there's the saying that we do not publish books, but we publish authors. So I mentioned that we try to have the collective and complete works of an author published and to have all of the books available, because only that creates an overall image of an author. And the 10th, 12th book can have a revival effect on the first or second book that you get, and especially in translation. So it has happened so very often that authors have been discovered only after 20, 30 years. But from my personal experience with the previous publisher I worked for, Hans Fallada, with Aufbau. Of course, he had been translated, but then there were in the 50s, 60s, 70s of the century. But then in the beginning of the 21st century, suddenly a French and an American publisher picked him up and made his works very successful. And then 55 years after his death, publishers from everywhere in the world were starting to translate this author, and of course then it is only possible to follow these lines if you have the rights to the collection of copyright. So that is really quite good for what we do and how we understand the business, because everything else will be very complicated. So foreign publishers do need focal points and need to make sure that they know whom the rights belong to and which foreign publisher or agency to approach. So it's always terrible when you discover that a contract has run out with that one author and that she's no longer with the original agency, and then you have to start searching for who's the agency now, explain to them, well, we've been publishing this author for 15 years, now that there's maybe been a break of 1 year because the database wasn't clear and you still have some money left, and then you have to explain what the relation with the author is and make the agent understand what you do. So there's this bilateral necessity to know each other, to know the work of an author, and to know the relationship between the author and the domestic publisher and the international publisher has to build up trust, because it is something very special that we're talking about, the work of art, protected by copyright, something which is vulnerable, something which authors have been working on for a long time, some months, some years, some decades even. Then it can and should not happen only for 1 or 2 years that a translation takes place. So how to assess a foreign market in general. So if you prepare for a specific international book fair, or want to sell rights to Spain, to France, to Poland, you should make really a map of the market and understand what the market is about and what the countries are, or the language. So you will check which other languages spoken and written and published in this market, because there can be various ones, or which is the scope of the language, especially of course for English, or French, or Spanish, or Chinese, to understand which possibilities do you have in giving territorial rights. Will you license only rights for Spain, or including for America? Would there be any necessities for restrictions of the market, or will you sell Spanish world rights or English world rights? Or are there maybe 2 or 3 languages spoken in a specific market, like for example the United States, or that you will also maybe have an interest of selling Northern American Spanish rights to a culture based in the USA? What is the copyright duration in the specific market? So unfortunately, despite of the fact that Hermann Hesse's Linien sells 11,000 copies in Korea every year, we do no longer participate from that, because the Asian countries only have 50 years of copyright duration, compared to the 70 years that we have in Europe, in some countries there is, or there was only 20 or 30 years of copyright protection. There's one country, Iran, which does not have a copyright protection at all. So basically everyone can translate what they like to. But despite of that, there are a few Iranian publishers who do make license contracts with international publishers, as to encourage general awareness of the value of copyright protection. And then, of course, if you have only 2 or 3 years left until the protection runs out, then you will maybe agree rather on a lump sum than on an advance for the last 2 or 3 years for the copyright protection, because then the publisher gives all the work having the contract. Well, and then you need to make sure you know about the structural specifics of the market. So how many players are in there? How many publishers? Is it a market with a predominance of corporate houses, or are there many different independent publishers? Are they all based in the capital, or is it a rather decentralized market? Which will also be important for planning a tour to a capital or to a market, to know, will I be able to meet all the publishers, all the Polish publishers I want to meet at Warsaw Book Fair, or should I also go to Krakow Book Fair to cover the smaller literary publishers that are there in the region that maybe not necessarily attend the Warsaw Book Fair? And how are retailers organized? Who are the main trade chains? I always try to collect information about these aspects, as well as to understand how the markets work and what are the boundaries of a market. If you have only 1 or 2 main retailers, then of course they will dictate prices in countries where there is no fixed price for books. They will dictate general conditions, and it will be their decision almost which authors are focused or not. And that also enters your thought about which books might work in this market. You will also have a look at the bestseller lists of a foreign market to understand, and then ask the publisher, why does this work? I've never heard about this author. Why is she or he so successful in your country? And why is another author that is very successful in other countries not at all? So this is also part of the follow-up that you do constantly to understand how your author has performed why have the critics been so mixed or so bad, whereas in other countries they have been raving? And why are the sales numbers here so poor and they're so good? And then also, one more thing of the political framework that that a country or the Marshall countries have. So how is the trade organized in general? Which associations are there? Is there a censorship, which means that you can basically not talk about specific aspects, or that some books might be excluded? Does the country have a fixed price system, which, as we understand it, perceive the markets as always a good motor for literary diversity, of course? And what are the taxes for books in the countries? Is there a reduced taxation or not? What are the taxes for e-books? And then, of course, it's then also important when you discuss offers and when you have a look at a calculation. For example, if you want to calculate a lump sum, then you need to make sure you get the right net retail price and not the gross retail price, because if you have 25% VAT included in the price, that is not something that the publisher has and that you can participate in, of course, because it goes to the states and have to reduce the tax and then set the net retail price and multiply it with the printer and with the royalty base that you apply. And then, are there any specific translation subsidy projects in these countries? So, of course, the main translation subsidy programs will come from the state of origin, but there might also be specific programs in the respective countries, organized by the government or by publishers associations, or also by private institutions, like private funding. We have that very often in the Arabic world, or in France with the Centre National du Livre. They do not only promote French literature abroad, but they can also give promotional subsidies or publication subsidies for the publication of a foreign author in their market. Of course, this is something that the local publisher should also know, but it will be interesting for you as a background and maybe get back when you discuss with the publisher and they really want to translate something, but then you see that the market is very limited and the publisher is small and the book is very literal, but then you need to find ways to make that happen. And so selling the rights is not the only thing that you do, but you also encourage the publisher or try to help them in finding ways of really making this happen. Of course, the will of a publisher and its interest in a specific work of art has to be the funding moment for publication and translation. So it does not make sense if a publisher comes to you and says, "Oh, I heard that for Helvetia, this Swiss foundation, they have this wonderful project and they support translation of Swiss books. And can you please tell me who your Swiss authors are, and then I will translate them?" Then I'm always a bit reluctant and say, "Well, but please tell me what is your interest in Swiss literature, and do you know any of us with authors, and why do you think should it be translated to your country?" So that has to be the first moment. And then it comes to the moment where you discover that, well, without any help, institutional help, it is not possible to make that translation happen or to give it a bigger audience, and then you might look for some institutional help. Yeah, so if you have a book of 700 pages and you think this is a future Nobel Prize winner, although he's not translated yet into so many languages, but you really think that there is something that about this author, the foreign publisher sees that as well, but then there's a country only of 2 million people and the prices are very low, so how can she make it happen? And then you will discuss with her and try to find ways and send some letters to some, at least sometimes, to some private institutions or as partners, maybe also from other countries who have programs for the general promotion of, for example, some European literature, and then ask them for their help. And then also, which are the cultural institutions in the specific countries that can help to promote literature. So there's this wonderful network of the UNIC, of the European cultural institutions that we have in many countries across Europe that promote European literature abroad. Building a bridge between the Ukrainian embassy and the Dutch Foundation for Literature can be interesting in also in a bilateral exchange. And why not think about a Ukrainian author being translated into the Netherlands, whilst at the same time you translate a Dutch author and then make them travel together or have presentations of them together, including what a cultural institution might offer as an institutional help. And then this is again more specific about academic publications. How is the academic life organized in general in the specific country? So what are the main academic institutions? At which universities are which subject taught? Who are the professors that might be ambassadors for your author? To who is he or she connected? Who are the academic institutions that might help foster the interest in the author? And then very importantly, you will try to seek information about the translators community. So meet translators from the country, understand what is their specific interest in the language, in the author, in the literature, and try to collect as many information as possible as to build up the translators network. But then also understand what are their boundaries and learn about what they earn, how much money they get from translation, because you might also try to support translators and help them find funding for their work, because in smaller countries with limited markets, the publisher himself, although he's very eager to, he might not be fully capable of paying the translator as much as he should have for this very hard work that she does. And so it can be interesting also to know ways for translators to apply for fellowships, for invitations, as to visit the country, work there for 3 or 4 months in a translator's house, get to know the country and the literature better, and then of course the translator community is also often a worldwide one. So translators remain in constant exchange with one another because they meet in translators' houses around the world, and even if they do not translate from or into the same language, they have similar needs and similar interests, and that even can foster the exchange on literature. Well, and then of course there are any specific literary traditions in the market you want to sell this to. So of course Asian literature is very different from European one, which is one of the reasons why we sell we do sell, of course, novels to China and Korea and to Japan as well, but most of what we sell is for the humanities. And this has to do with the very different traditions and the different genres that they have. So one should also have this in mind, especially when you talk about literature. So maybe we can do a copy here. Yeah, so we're there at a break. Well, it's a, we do the question part after the next part. So yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for the being. Is it on? So welcome back to the final part of the presentation, and then we want to have some time for your questions as well. I was reminded, and of course I'm aware of the fact that for Iranian publishers it is not very common to acquire rights for the duration of copyright, and then also with this large scope of rights that I presented. So of course, and again, why is it necessary to have the rights for such a long time? I think I already mentioned that that you need time to build an author up, and then all this fame will grow from book to book if you continue working with your aim. And then people will, once they discover an author, they will be interested in other works as well. So it's very important to have the books in print as for everyone, the author and the publisher, to participate in the sales. So of course there's always the secondary market, and you have the books in libraries, but people will also ask their local bookseller and ask them for recommendation of other books by this author. So this is part of building the market. And then again, as I said, the talk to foreign publishers needs a lot of energy and a lot of sustainability in talking about local literature and the rest of the author. And it will take time for them to discover an author. And if you then have only 1 or 2 years left with your contract, then, well, of course, then the publisher can afterwards go to the author directly and then ask the author for the rights. But he has also the interest of having another partner, not only the author, to know there's a whole institution behind, because the publishing house is an institution, is a focal point, and can really be an important partner in the discussion about the literary work and about the possibilities to work with the author, because the author will be maybe traveling a lot and also want to concentrate on the writing itself. So the publisher needs to be there to support the author and to support the foreign publisher in making sure that the contract work is done, in making sure that the foreign publisher receives answers when it comes to requests for invitations of the author to festival, for reading tour, when it comes to selling then subsidiary rights in their markets, who have an answer if that is okay for the author or not. Well, our foreign publishers that we work with in houses in the world, but they know that Suhrkamp is an institution and that they will always get an answer, not always necessarily the next day, but they know us behind and with them in the international network for the author. And this is only possible if you have secured the rights for a number of years. Let's go on with the presentation very quickly, because I heard there's a dinner later on, so I won't be too long now. And just finish about how to approach foreign publishers and how to prepare for meeting them. So you should ask yourself the question: what kind of business is that, and what kind of publishing house? Is it a corporate house, an independent one, a university press? What is their structure? The economic figures? How do they distribute in their home country? Maybe in other countries where the same language is spoken? How many employees do they have? How many books do they publish? Are they organized as series? Or do they have only one main program? What are their programmatic priorities? So that is really very important. So it doesn't make sense to approach a publisher with a book or that's not the kind of aspect that they do. It seems to be natural, but it's and what are the programmatic segments? And then the same questions relating to the foreign publisher is in assessing their own list. Who are their domestic authors? So who are their French authors? And which other international authors do they publish? Do you maybe share 2 or 3 or 5 international authors? That would make talking about it a lot easier if you have the same Chilean or the same Norwegian author in the list. And did they already publish Ukrainian literature, and why and how did they perform for them? Because that is of course the hardest part in opening up a publisher for a language you've never translated from before. And then of course that will be easier if you already have a French or Spanish publisher who did it. And so you can see, well, this did not only do well in Ukraine, but also in other countries, but that will be easier. But the hard part, of course, is finding the first publisher for and then once you have a long relationship with the publisher, you will always, of course, maintain your list of contracts, check the list of existing licenses in your previous operation, have the books been published in time, has it paid all the royalties, will the contract expire, because the licensing contracts are of course often limited for 7 or 10 or 12 years. That is also my advice. If you acquire rights from Germany or from America, if you know that you have a backlist and that you keep your books in print, then tell the international agent and publishing house that you want to continuously publish a book, and that you need the rights not for 5 years but for 10 or 12 years. So we always try to see whether we acquire translation rights from agencies to have a duration of 12 years from publication. Because translation is a heavy investment and it's time to remove this investment. Yes, so back to selling. When you have a bigger house, you will try to get to know all the decision makers in there. So who's the publisher, who are the editors for fiction, for non-fiction, for children's books, and so on. Who are the rights managers, and what are their capacities and their teams. Because, for example, in Asian publishing houses, it is very often the rights managers that travel to international book fairs, and they have like a mixed position, which is both selling rights, but then also collecting information and working like with scouts or like acquisition editors, other than with us, where we do only the contracts and acquisitions, but mostly sell rights. With which scouts does a publisher work? And if he doesn't have a scout for Ukrainian literature, it might be interesting to know what he works with that US scout, because also scouts in the US, they do not only focus on American literature, but they will have an interest in hot titles from Singapore or from America as well. And with which translators does the publisher work? So if he has already translated Ukrainian literature, then you will check who are their translators and see if you know them and if you can involve them in the overall discussion in your work. So how to pitch a book to and what is actually the pitch? It's a short and condensed format to present and explain literary content. It aims to raise initial interest for a title and then invites, of course, for the own reading of the interested publisher and prospects that further and more detailed information will follow. And that pitch should always try to capture the essence of literary work. So, what is the genre, the specific textual forms, what are the main topics and main questions, in which style is it written, and then also who is the author, because that can tell a lot. And then maybe, depending on the genre, also what is the plot and where is the novel set. And then the question would always be, is that a unique work of art that transcends time and space and is relevant to international readers? well, of course there are some genres or some segments where this question has to be formulated out of the way, especially for literature. As I said in the beginning, there always has to be that one moment at least that can make a book interesting for foreign readers. And then a pitch is mostly used either on the telephone or at a book fair, or maybe in a mailing as a very short presentation, as I said, to raise initial interest. And then to give more detailed information, you will maybe make a proposal or a mailing which gives longer information on everything that I mentioned before. But it gives a more detailed expression of your professional and also your personal reception of the work. Why do you think it is important, and why do you think it is relevant for that international publisher? And how do you personally think of the author of the work? Both in the context of your own market, so how has the book performed, how many copies have been sold, what were the reviews like, has it been nominated for any awards, or has it received any literature prizes, have there been domestic rights, for example, an audiobook or to a book club, and then if that has already happened, how has the book performed in the context of the international rights trade? So has it already been sold to other international publishers? For which languages and to which publisher? Because this is always a very important guideline for international publishers. If they see, well, literally has acquired the rights, that is usually, people pay attention to that. Or history, or I don't know. And out of that can come a certain dynamic, because then also the other international publishers will start talking about their book, and it leads to a focus of attention. And if the translations have already been published, it has performed internationally again, the sales figures and the reviews in other countries. So this kind of material brings together the author, the work, and the partner. So it should really focus on individual programmatics of the foreign partner and explain why this focus is important. And then it might, if you already know, well, this publisher has a series of travelogues focusing on traveling to Africa, and you have that book on your friend author traveling Africa, then you will maybe mention, well, this is a book especially for that, exactly for that series. And then it should mention which other material is available for the publisher to get acquainted with the work. So of course the manuscript should be there, at least partially. You will have hopefully a foreign rights page in English language, maybe an expose on the author or on the work. A sound translation is almost a condition sine qua non, so even for German literature, people always ask for sound translations. They prefer to have full English translations because they don't read German or Ukrainian. But at least 10 or 20 pages can be very helpful in making people discover what it was about. Then a press dossier, so the most important reviews. Is there any promotional material that you can send, like advertisements that you have done in the biggest Ukrainian newspapers that can show the publisher, oh, this is a book that is really important to you and you've done a lot for it. Maybe an extended biography of the author, and this further form of bibliography. Are there, especially for academic authors, any articles in foreign languages that they have written? And have any previous works by the author have been translated in other languages and how did they perform in English language? And then there's always the question, how much information can a foreign publisher digest? So the information span has become very short and people receive a lot of material, so it's always tricky to find the right balance in between giving too much and too few information. You never know in advance. Sometimes it's good to follow up and then mention, well, in case you're interested, I have even more information for you. And then you should make sure that you register every interest and every submission that you made on your database. Because once the first author offer from Croatia comes in, then you will need to know what I talked also to these 2 or 3 other Croatian publishers, and now I have to inform them that I have the first offer on the table, and discuss if they would also like to offer. So what are possible strategies for self-publishing rights? What we always do is that we invite the author and discuss with them if they know any foreign editors already, if they have lived in other countries, if they know foreign journalists, foreign authors. Then also, of course, they will talk about their expectations. I would love to be translated into Japanese, and you have to really have it. But it's also always good to know if they are already editors from the countries. Then, of course, everything of what I said before, you should know the foreign markets, the countries, the publisher houses, and the editors. Then, if an author has already been translated, regard the publishers that have translated the author before as option publishers. So this is what we do. We do very seldom, only for exceptions. Once an author has already had it published in a country, approach the publisher. And first of all, talk to the publisher who published the author before. And then it is all about knowing a lot of people abroad and knowing them personally. When I started in the business, I was told, well, the most important thing if you go out of the meeting in Frankfurt is not to have the right soul. This will not happen in your first or second book fair, but you need to know what kind of books do they publish and how many children and grandchildren do the editors and publishers have. So I know there are some people who take note of this, all you have in your head, because this builds up a personal relationship with the publisher, and it's a possibility also to relate, because well, literature is about the world, and this is how it works. And then, again, it's about endurance and perseverance, about really trying to inform again and again about your author and the necessity why they should be translated. And then you will also think about what is the right timing. Will I start first approaching publishers in the UK, or is it maybe better to first start to talk to Russian and to Polish publishers, or other neighboring countries, Lithuania, and then go further to France and to Azerbaijan? And in which order do I want to approach publishers? Is there in some countries the specific partner I really want to see that book with, and I think it will be the perfect fit for them? So then maybe I will talk only to that one publisher and say, well, I really think this is a book for you, and I want to give you an exclusive review option of 1 month. It would be lovely if you could respond at that time, because I really think this book deserves your attention. Or you start to talk with the 5 or 10 publishers that you think are capable of doing this at the same time. And then also think, well, maybe first send it out to the scouts, of course send it out to the sub-agents, and then like 1 week later send it out to publishers and to publishers. But and then you should also try to involve possible multipliers, like scouts, like journalists, in the respective countries, and translators, of course. And then keep on informing people. If there has been a sale now to France, if there have been further good reviews, if the book has come on the bestseller list, then the publisher will be interested to hear them, because they're coming from Frankfurt or from London, they will have a pile of 150 books or PDFs on the e-reader, and then if you're lucky, you have this 5 minutes of attention where you remind them of the book that you're talking about and send in the form the announcement sold to Poland, and then maybe you think, well, now I have to look at it. So what material should you have at hand? Of course, the manuscript of the book itself, the foreign rights catalog, when it's ever out. Well, first is maybe some articles and translations, or the 1 or 2 major reviews. I'd like to invest in translating them into English, or at least have a few blurbs translated. set-the-time translation exposé, and an international homepage. It will be important for foreign publishers to know who you are. You will explain to them that they will also want to visit your homepage. So you should at least have a small segment where you give a publishing profile at your homepage in English or in other languages you're able to present. But then if you really want to actively engage into selling for otherwise from the authors, then build up a segment for international information on your homepage. So ours is very large. We do give information about every book, almost every recent book that's true in English. And what this information is like, I'll show you later. And then maybe even start a newsletter, which should not be sent out too often, maybe twice or 3 times a year to report about your what you do. So what is contained in a foreign rights catalog? It's a selection of the titles with international potential that you think can travel. It's of course in English, or Chinese, or American, if you have translated from that. And if you go to Beijing, to Abu Dhabi Book Fair, the target group is sub-agents, the scouts, and international publishers. It will feature mostly new titles, bonus titles, and so titles, so books that really deserve a lot of people's attention. Usually they are prepared for the London and Frankfurt Book Fair, but of course one can do specifically for the Rotterdam Book Fair or for others. Yeah, this is just a possibility to sort your categories. It should include bibliographical information on the author and who's the author, what's the English title, when has it been published. It should give a prospect on which further material is available. And also, if you know that the Ukrainian Book Institute would like to work with the support that I already mentioned, translation funding available from the Ukrainian Book Institute, we usually also display the cover, an author's photo, illustration samples for illustrated books, and sometimes international covers, because you can also translate. It's all about stories. Then, which foreign publishers have the rights already sold to, the short letter could be by the author, information on the author's backlist, into which foreign publishers have been sold, information about prices and nominations, about sales figures, if there's any information, and then of course a short pitch or a long note. And again some press quotes maybe in English. And for academic books or also for literary books, maybe 2 or 3 lines from the book itself in translation or a table of contents. Oh. So this is actually really quick. So this is just a selection of international book fairs that one can visit. And many of these book fairs have fellowships that one can apply to. So they provide publishers or they have invitation programs. Of course, Frankfurt is in London are the 2 most important ones, the spring and the autumn. But there can be good reasons to travel to international regional books. To finish, a few words about other multipliers. Of course, translators are the literary voice of your author's book, and they almost do create a second work of art. In the best way, then the relationship between the translator and the author is also lifelong, between the publisher and the author. Because in the absence of the author, who cannot travel all the time, the translator is also a little ambassador for And when I have competitive offers from publishers in Sweden, then the question who should translate the book can also be a criteria of quality for my selection of which publisher to read. So it's good to know your author's translators and keep them constantly informed. It doesn't always work, but they will be very pleased if they receive the the PDF, the new book, they're all putting together with the initial publisher. And then, of course, there are support programs for translators as well, like workshops. In Berlin, the colloquium building, the LCD, they organize 2 times a year workshops for literary translators in spring and then for the Leipzig book fair in the summer course, where they invite translators to gather and to work. They are one of the residency programs in Montpellier, in Strahlen, in northern Germany. There's the Europäisches Übersetzerkolloquium, so the European Literature Translators House, where you can not only apply as a translator that translates into German or from German, but also any other European translator from Finnish into Serbian can apply there. And this extends the network of the people. And then last but not least, there are cultural institutions who support our work. So in Germany we have the Publishers Association, Publishers and Retailers Association. So that is not always the same in every country, sometimes they're separated, but in Germany they're together. Then the Goethe Institute, of course, who gives translation subsidy for translations from German. The Frankfurt Book Fair, which with a big international department that organizes the Frankfurt Fellowship, that has an invitation program for 40 publishers, especially from developing countries, that organizes the collective stand of Germany at 20 international book fairs every year, that is in charge of when Germany's guest of honor in another book fair to organize that. Then the Leipzig Book Messe, which had a specific programmatic focus on especially Central and Eastern European literature for many years, and who also co-organizes collective stands in other countries. And then, this is a joint, well, this is organized by the Frankfurt Book Fairs as well. There are German book offices in New York, Beijing, Moscow, and New Delhi. There's one in Warsaw as well, they are locally very active in constantly informing about German books. And then, of course, there's the Creative Europe program, where I understand Ukraine is also an associate partner, where people can apply also for translation funding of projects that include German and Ukrainian authors. And why are these institutions so helpful? Because they collect information and provide statistics on, as a basic source of information about the industry in general, about the production. So this is also helpful information for foreign publishers to inform themselves about the market. And they provide license statistics, so they measure how many books have been translated from Ukrainian. Honestly, we do that since previous as well. And it's for German authors, it's very interesting to see and compare how many licenses did we as Suhrkamp sell and how does it compare to the overall licenses that other publishers have sold in specific segments. And then, of course, it's also interesting to understand from which languages do we translate most, from which very poorly. And then they have a general impact on the support the industry and again of reading promotion in general. And I think this is not to be underestimated in these times. And then usually other institutions like the British Institute and the Ukrainian Book Institute offer translation subsidies. So some institutions also offer, like I said, for the documents that they offer publication subsidies or promotional subsidies, which means that they can maybe allocate also some money towards a reading tour or reading event, so that can be helpful as well, in addition to the translation subsidy itself. And then there's always a big question: is it better to prepare a list and make publishers aware of the books that you think that need to be translated, or to answer to a certain demand. And there's a certain balance that has to be found in that, because as I said, the specific publisher's interest in the book has to be the driving motor behind the translation. And it doesn't make sense to offer people a list and tell them these are the 10 books that we will subsidize, and then you have translators who will translate one book but then not have any long-term interest in the author. Yes, so cultural institution will also for long-term promote the domestic literature in all its varieties and languages. There are, for example, the Knigovidavnичия, they do not only support German-speaking but also Italian, French, and Latino-Romanic languages that are all published in Switzerland. And it should always give in their work also a complete image of the national literature. That is maybe never limited. And then cultural institutions themselves build up important networks with publishers in their own country, internationally, with neighboring institutions and with translators as well. So cultural institutions usually collect also a lot of information, and I'm in constant exchange with colleagues in various group institutes around the world about whom they know, how they perceive the market, if they know what any new funds are funded function of that might be interested in as a partner for us. Are there any new emerging translators I'm not heard about? And especially for smaller languages, it can be interesting then for publishers to approach the cultural institution and ask them for their recommendation as translators. For a publisher who has never previously translated literature from Georgia and doesn't know any Georgian translators, they can turn towards the Georgian bookseller or no writers of Georgia and ask them, can you recommend me any translators in Georgian? And then I have some few examples of publications by cultural institutes that I find really helpful. So for German books, it's new books in German. It's a joint venture of the Frankfurt Book Fair, the Goethe Institute, the Swiss and the Austrian Cultural Institution, which is published by Entity for London Frankfurt Book Fairs, which includes information about 30-40 new books in German language every year. The 10 books from Holland, published by the Dutch Foundation for Literature, is usually the best of Dutch literature from also every half year. Books from Norway is an online platform where you can find information about individual books. And usually, the inclusion of these books in such kind of publications will mean that it's very probable or almost secured that you get a translation substitute, which is important for publishing. Spain becoming guest of honor in 2021, they have started a project called 3 out of 10, so for 3 times they will 3 out of 30. 3 times 10 out of 30. So they have a book with some translations of 3 times 10 authors that they think are the most important contemporary voices, which they send out to foreign publishers. And also new books from Israel, by the Institute for the Translation of Hebrew Literature, that's also a very fun example of how to curate such a catalog. Usually, cultural institutions can also help in financing some translations, and then maybe also prepare lists on thematic clusters. They organize workshops and then invitation programs. So the most helpful way of promoting national literature is to invite editors, to invite publishers to the country in the capital. Show them the city, show them the beautiful sights of Kiev, and bombard them with information on Ukrainian literature for 3 or 4 days. Then they will come back, and they will be placed and please, and then they will really focus on these 1 or 2 authors that they found here this day. Yeah, so editors tips. And it's usually also helpful because the institution participates in festivals, or co-organized festivals. I've just been to the Hague, the Crossing-Border Festival, which is a festival of music and literature, which is also co-organized by international literature, and they're very present there. They talk day and night to publishers about their authors. Well, then of course participation in international book fairs, which is a nice part for us as foreign rights people, when we travel together with people from the Institute and from the Frankfurt Book Fair, because they provide institutional support. They will have a stand with coffee, and you will know there's a place for me to sit, to talk to foreign publishers. And then I have someone supporting me, and also talking about my authors. And then the fellowships, so that I get like little scripts. I think it's one of the best possibilities to build a network around literature. So I've been starting to know the soul book fair. I've been invited to a few other places, but especially these fellowships where you are together with 10, 15 other international interest agents from around the world, share a common interest in this specific market and want to learn about the national literature. That creates like a very special vibe and almost family time, because it's usually a very intense time. I don't think that there's a clear fellowship yet, but I think that our resources might be a good connection in the future, because it just will love to travel, but not only to see the places, but also really to learn depth about national literature. But then, of course, one of the best possibilities to promote the literature in here, if the country has the chance to become a person of honor, the Frankfurt Book Fair and another national book fair. This will usually attract a lot of attention, because then this book fair is like a lighthouse of the national literature to the world. Yeah, so I think I already mentioned most of these other multi-planning there as well. Skip this to leave room for your questions and do the presentation so far. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any questions, I hope we still have time.
Друзі, якщо хтось має питання, ви можете поставити їх просто зараз, або ж ми можемо завершити нашу офіційну частину і ви просто поставите їх приватно. Що вам більше до душі? Приватно. Усі хочуть ставити питання приватно. Відтак я дуже дякую вам ще раз за вашу участь, за те, що ви приєдналися до